Hi and welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Amy and I'm the knitter behind Knitting Matters. I love to talk about all things knitting. I'm based in Wales in the UK, and in this episode I need your help to help me to decide whether to frog or to finish my basket of abandoned WIPs. So it is the first week of January in 2026, and as I was putting my Christmas tree away this year, I happened across my basket of languishing WIPs. So we're going to go through these one by one and decide whether we are going to frog and reuse the yarn or whether we're going to finish these items. I have decided that 2026 is the year that I'm going to be held accountable for my knitting projects. I will say, in my defence, I finish knitting the things that I started about 95% of the time. Some of the WIPs in here have been on my needles for an embarrassingly long amount of time. This is about 10 years worth of abandoned projects that I have been putting off. So this is the year that I'm going to be held accountable for those projects, and I need your guys' help to do that. So let's get into it. So right on the very top, this is my most recently abandoned WIP. It's a project I started early in 2025, I want to say, and it's a Moby sweater junior, and it was one that I had started making for my son. He had specifically asked for an all-over textured cabled sweater, and this is the one that he chose, and I was really pleased to make it for him because I wanted to make myself one that matched, but it is way too small. Again, actually no, I didn't do a gauge swatch for this one, which I think was my downfall. So it's knit in, or the recommended yarn is either Sunday or Peer Gynt by Sanders Garn, which is double knit weight yarn. And I had this double knit weight yarn in my stash that I wanted to get rid of, because for me 2025 was like the year of getting rid of all my old stashed yarn. If it was more than a year old or had been in my stash for more than a year, I wanted to get rid of it and get it out. So I decided he wanted blue for his sweater, so I had this sort of greyish blue. It's the Ideal yarn by Bergere de France. It is a 40% worsted wool, 30% acrylic and 30% polyamide. It's probably not a yarn that if I was shopping today I would go for. So it's not something that I would purchase again, but I had it in my stash and I didn't want to waste it, so I was like, I'll use that to make the Moby sweater. The length is good, my row gauge is good, but it's just too small for him. So he is wearing, in the UK, like size 12 to 13 clothes at the moment, and it's skin tight. So I finished the body, and when I realised it was going to be too small for him, it just really put me off. I just couldn't find the motivation to do the sleeves because it's not going to fit him anyway. I did recently though, as in about 6 weeks ago, asked my daughter to try this on, who is 6, and it fits her really, really well. So that has given me renewed motivation to just get the sleeves finished, and then I have a complete sweater for her. And then I think I'll just start again with I've got plans to make a Moby sweater for myself, but then I will get some yarn actually intended for my son to make him something that he really wants to wear. So this is my first frog or finish. I am committed to finishing this, and yeah, it will originally intended for my daughter but will actually be for my son. So that's my first one, and I feel quite positive about that. So my plan is to try and get 1 or 2 of these finished per season. So I'm splitting the year up into, you know, different seasons of knitting and what my plans will be. And throughout the year, I will be dipping into this basket to try and get them done, because I feel like if maybe it would work setting myself the goal to just get them all done in 1 month and say I'm not allowed to cast on anything new until I finished, but I'm not really a fan of putting rules around my knitting time. My knitting time is for my headspace, for my well-being, for my pleasure and enjoyment in what is already a very busy life that I run. So I don't really want to do that. So I think I'm just gonna say, you know, give myself permission to take my time, take it slowly, and yeah, see where we go from that. So that is my first one. That is the Moby sweater, and that is going in the finish pile. The next WIP that I want to talk to you about is my son's Mr. Fox cardigan that I started making for him when he was a little baby. He's now 10 and a half. So I would say, I haven't put the date that I cast it on in my Ravelry profile, because particularly when the children were very small, I wasn't very good at keeping it up to date. But I would say a conservative estimate would be to say that this WIP has been on my needles for 10 years. Oh my God, that's so embarrassing. It is a Rowan pattern, so all the patterns in this little booklet were designed by Sarah Hatton for Rowan, and the pattern itself is called Friedrich. It is this shawl collar little jacket with a beautiful foxy colour work band around the bottom of the body and around the cuffs of the sleeve. I have really enjoyed Sarah Hatton's patterns. I also made the Kurt pattern from this book for him. So, I mean, again, I would say I probably bought the yarn at the same time and I cast them on at the same time. And I finished making the Kurt sweater in 2015. So, which is this one. And I made it in a navy blue. I'll put an image of it up on the screen. So yes, a conservative guess would be that this has been on my needles for the best part of 10 years. And what stopped me from finishing it, quite simply, was the fact that I put it off for a little while because I think he was poorly or something happened, and then a bit of life got in the way. And then I realised that by the time I finished it, he would have outgrown it. So I've only done this much. This is all I've done, which is the bottom ribbing and the bottom, what is it, 3 or 4 rows of the colour work. It's hardly anything at all. The yarn that I've got for this, I have no idea whether it is still available, but it is the Rowan Baby Merino Silk DK. And I have 5 balls of this blue. I have 3 balls of this cream colour, and I just have 1 of the orange. So I don't know what to do really. I don't know whether to finish this and add it to my baby gifts that I will gift to the next person that has a baby. I think I'll have to go back and look at the size. I think it was made, I've started it in maybe 12-month size, something like that. Because I've done such a small amount, it's really tempting to just frog it. However, I'm really lacking imagination on what I will do with the yarn, particularly that 1 ball of orange. I think it will be a really adorable garment, and actually I think I'm tempted to make it anyway because I think it's cute, I think it's pretty, and I think it would make a really lovely special gift for somebody. However, I don't know a huge amount of people that would appreciate, is this hand wash only? Oh no, it is machine washable. It is machine washable. Actually, that changes my perspective on it. It's machine washable, which makes me think it's a bit more of a great, a good gift to give somebody because they don't have to worry about hand washing baby knits, which I was always really happy to do as a mother. I was really happy to do that, but I know that others maybe don't feel the same way if they're not knitters or, yeah, what do you think I should do? Do you think I should pick it up after 10 years and just get it finished? Or do you think that that's not a significant amount and I should frog it and start again? Oh, what to do? Amazingly though, I left the needles attached, and I find it hard to believe that I won't have needed these needles in the last 10 years. So I'm imagining I've probably got a duplicate size of these now. But anyway, that is the Friedrich sweater by Sarah Hatton. Please do comment below, what do you think I should do? Do you think I should frog or do you think I should finish it? I'm going to put that one in the maybe pile and have a think on that one. The next project that I started and then promptly abandoned is this one, which is a pattern by Bergere de France. I will pop the name of it on the screen because the name has evaded my memory just momentarily. I know I was using a lot of Bergere de France around between 2015 and 2020 specifically. So a conservative estimate for how long this has been on my needles is about 5 years. I was so uninspired by this project that it didn't even make it onto my projects in Ravelry, so I don't have a clue as to when I started it. I do know what it was intended to be though. So it was intended to be the lovely Stars poncho by Bergere de France, and I knit the grand total of 6 rows. It's barely a centimetre. It is knit in this Bergere de France yarn on 3mm needles, and I have lots of grey for the main body of the poncho, and then these 3 colours which make up the stars that go across it. So it is a 4-ply yarn, is 100% acrylic. So actually, if I frog this one, I feel like I would be able to find a good use for this yarn. I feel like it would make a good baby knits project, particularly feminine colours, a bit of grey, a bit of neutral in there as well. So I feel like this one lends itself to being frogged. I feel like I would be able to find use for the yarn. And also my other reason I think for frogging this one is, although I was really excited at the prospect of a poncho when my daughter was toddling around, like maybe between the ages of 2 and like 4 or 5, I think it would have been a great staple piece to have in her wardrobe, something that you could just chuck on, you know, when we're walking, you know, pick up from school or that kind of thing, and would have added that extra bit of warmth for her. I don't feel like it's something that she would value now. I don't think it's something that she would reach for now. And it's going to be, for the size that she is now, it's going to be quite a big piece knit on 3mm needles. So I think my thought process with this one is that I don't want to invest the time and the effort into making something that I don't believe is going to get the intended use that I wanted from it. So I think this is going to be in the frog pile. The next WIP that I have is this one, which is another Rowan WIP. It's the Briar sweater that Kim Hargreaves designed for the Winter Blooms collection for Rowan. So the yarn for this project dates back to 2015. So in 2015, just after I had my son, I treated myself to some more luxury yarn. I think this is the first time I'd ever bought myself yarn to make a sweater that was just that little bit more elevated than the yarns that I was used to working with. So I used to work a lot with blends, cotton blends, wool blends. I used to make a lot of baby clothes. Mostly when I started knitting, everything that I knit I then donated to the neonatal unit in the hospital that I worked at. And then I started knitting for my own children and children that I knew, and then I started knitting for myself. So actually, although I've been knitting like for as long as I can remember, in terms of things that I actually knit for myself, it took a long time for me to pluck up the courage to make an adult size sweater. I've gone off on a tangent here, but this is one of the things that I purchased. So I got the book, the Winter Blooms book, and I got it specifically for 2 patterns, which is the Briar dress and the Briar sweater. Now I bought the yarn in blue and I made this Briar sweater in 2015, and as soon as I had cast that off, I loved it so much that I bought this green, this sort of forest green, to make the exact same sweater. But I didn't cast it on. So I bought the yarn in 2015 and I didn't cast it on until 2024. So in 2024, I cast on and so here's the yarn. It is a alpaca. Oh, hang on, let me get one that isn't attached. So it's the Rowan Lima, which is 84% baby alpaca, 8% merino and 8% nylon, and it is absolutely beautifully soft. And again, you can see I'm really attracted to that heathered, or the heathering that is. So again, it has that lovely texture that I like. And I cast on the sweater in 2014, and I have knit, and I've knit quite a lot of it. So this is the back panel, which I have completed. The pins there are just marking my increases or decreases, just so that when I'm seaming it together, I can make sure it aligns properly. So I've already done the back panel, and I have cast on for the front panel here. Oh, we're all in a tangle. But I think, again, the only thing that's put me off with this one is that it's just not the construction that I like to knit anymore. So I enjoy knitting in the round, and this one is knit flat and seamed, and I really do think that that's the only thing that's putting me off. I've still got my row counter on there, which is remarkable. I've done 34 rows. So I think this would be quite, and it's knit on quite big needles. Yeah, 5.5mm needles. So I think if I could just pluck up the motivation, that this would fly by really quickly, and I feel like it would make me feel really good to finish a WIP, because this has been a WIP that I have been certainly thinking about for a little over 10 years, and working on for 18 months now. So I think I do need to get this one off my needles. I think this is going to go in the finish pile. And I think I'm going to love it once it is finished, because I love the blue one that I've already made. But yeah, I just don't know why. I haven't finished it. There's no excuse for that one. Absolutely no excuse. The next WIP is 100% a finish. I do need to finish this, and I need to finish it sooner rather than later. So it's close to being finished. It is the Big Bear pattern from the Debbie Bliss Babies Blankets, Booties and Bears book by Debbie Bliss. I knit so many of those patterns for my babies when they were little, and this is one of them. So it is a pattern for a teddy bear. I have knit all of the pieces. This is the, I think that's the back body. I think that's the front body. I would have to check. Excuse me. I would have to check the pattern to confirm. I believe that's a little arm there. That's a little leg. You can see the shape of his little foot there. The other arm, and oh no, those are the arms and those are the legs. So I've knit it. It's done. It's finished. Oh, and there's one little ear. I'm sure I've made the other one. Yep, there it is. So I've got 2 ears, I've got 2 arms, 2 legs, the front body, the back body, and this is the head. So why haven't I finished it? I have no idea why I haven't finished it. I do know my daughter will love it. I think actually this might make a nice little Easter gift for her this year. I've even got so far as starting to stuff his face, although it needs a bit more. I think I've overstretched it a bit. It needs a bit of shaping. So yeah, I don't know why I haven't finished this. Why haven't I finished this? I think he's going to be adorable. He has a little bit of embroidery on his face when he's done. I think I do need to just unpick where I've sewn his head together and take some of that stuffing out, because I think it is overstuffed. It's stretching the fabric a little bit so that you can see the stuffing inside, which you're not supposed to be able to do that. So I was obviously very overzealous when I was doing that. But yeah, I don't know why I haven't finished this. It's one of those really frustrating things. So this is definitely going in the finished pile, and I think will make an adorable gift for my daughter. She really loves stuffed animals, so I really don't know why I haven't finished it. And this one is made in the Sublime Extra Fine Merino Wool DK in this lovely biscuity colour, which is just perfect for teddy bears. I'm not sure what I will do with this leftover yarn. I think it might be enough to make a baby hat, particularly with the other straggly bits that I have. But yeah, this one is going in the finished pile. Mr. Bear, you are going to join our family in 2026, whether you like it or not. Okay. So this is the final WIP from my basket. It is also the one that I am the most embarrassed about. So this baby blanket I cast on in April of 2014, and at the time of recording it is January 2026. So this has been on my needles for almost 12 years. Please tell me I'm not alone. Please tell me other people have WIPs that have been on their needles for that long. My inspiration for this, I do remember my inspiration for this, and it was Princess Catherine and Prince William standing on the steps of the Lindo wing, having just given birth to Prince George, and he was wrapped in the most exquisite baby blanket. And I knew that if ever I had a baby, that I would want exactly that for my baby too. So I was about to go to the Wonderwool event in mid Wales, it is in Builth, Wales. I love going there, and at that time I was going every year, and I picked up this book, which is the Scrumptious Baby book, I believe, and the yarn, which is the Fibre Space. Let me just get this right for you. Fibre Space Scrumptious Lace, and this is in the natural or the undyed. The pattern is the Aldara Shawl by Judy Furlong, and it is beautifully exquisite. It's knit on very fine needles. Now I can't see the size, but I know that it's 2 point something. And it's really difficult to show you because I have finished the main panel, completely finished the main panel. I have picked up the border stitches and I have knit most of the border. So I'm really close to finishing this one. I just need the motivation to get me over that last hurdle. A lace weight baby blanket was an ambitious project to start with. I didn't find the motivation to finish this when I had my first baby. I knit on it a lot when I was pregnant with him. I definitely remember that, but I didn't finish it. I didn't find the motivation to finish it when I was pregnant with my second baby. And now they are ages 6 and 10. The motivation for me to finish it is really quite small. That said, I just need this to be done. I need this to be out of my life. I need it to be out of my basket. I need it to be a finished item. I don't know what I'm going to do with it when I finish it because I don't know any babies that to give it to at the moment. Maybe I'll keep it in the hope that I'll have grandchildren one day, but that feels so far away that seems a bit silly to do that. So I don't want to frog it because I have put so much work into this blanket that I can't bear the thought of frogging it. And I'm so close to the end that I feel like I do just need to finish it. But it's not one that I'm excited to finish in the same way that I am excited to finish the baby bear. I'm not excited to finish this because it just, in terms of functional use, it's just not there for me. So, I mean, please give me some reassurance. Am I the only one that has got a WIP that has been on their needles for 12 years? I mean, I am riddled with shame even showing you this, but I'm also very committed to this being the year of accountability and getting through my WIP. So yeah, it's a beautiful pattern. It does have about 1 million bobbles, and I believe it was this blanket and the bazillion bobbles that I knit on this blanket that swore me off bobbles, well, until I made this sweater, and that was where my aversion to making the holly berries came from. It was from knitting this shawl. So anyway, I feel like I've lost direction now with what I want to say about this blanket. It's beautiful, it's stunning, it will make a gorgeous christening shawl for somebody. I just don't know who, and I need you guys to give me some motivation to finish this and to get this off my needles. So any words of wisdom or just some words of encouragement, please tell me there is at least one person out there that has had a WIP that has been on their needles for this long and that I'm not the only one. So reluctantly, this is going in the finish pile. And happily, that's it. That's all I've got in here. Now, there's a few other bits that I've stored in here, like a little kit I got for my daughter, like your first knitting set, but she hasn't started it yet, so that's fine. And then I just have some like sewing kits and things in the bottom. I have some yarn. I'm not sure what I'll do with this yarn, but this is obviously left over from when I had my son. So that's a bonus find because I didn't know that was in there. So that's it. So I've got one project frog, one maybe, and 1, 2, 3, 4 to finish. So actually I think that's really doable. I think when I first looked at that basket, I was completely overwhelmed with how much there was to do. I think, but I'm actually feeling like this is more manageable. I feel like I'm going to take one project per season. I think I'll start with a teddy bear for the winter 2025, maybe the Moby for the spring of 2025. I think I'm going to tackle the shawl in the summer. I feel like a lace weight project over the summer is a nice, it's a nice lightweight project to do. And then I've actually named that project Forest Walks on Ravelry. So I will finish my Forest Walks project maybe in the autumn, ready for some forest walks. So I feel really confident about that, and actually I feel in a much happier space than I did when I first sat down to make this video with you guys. I'm not sure what I will do with my Friedrich sweater. Comments below, please give me some guidance, give me some tips. And I'm going to frog. Actually, that's only one project to frog, so that's great. And I've got some yarn back now. So anyway, this has been really helpful for me. I hope it's been interesting for you. And please do keep me accountable throughout the year. So if you watch my videos throughout the year, just a subtle, how's that WIPs basket going, Amy, would really help me along the road and keep me motivated. But if you've made it this far in the video, thank you so much. Give us a big thumbs up, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.